So next up, the Princess Royal Challenge Cup. And this will be a fascinating tussle between these two, an Australian and a Brit. And away they go. And this is again, the tailwind will come into play here.
Yeah, these are two very high caliber athletes. Hodgkins Byrne was in the quad in Tokyo, and Grzeskowiak from Australia just missed out on their quad for Tokyo. So they're both very high caliber athletes racing in this event.
Grzeskowiak on the Berkshire station, Hodgkins Byrne on the Buck station. And Grzeskowiak, who has an early lead.
Yeah, she's kept the rating a bit higher and just stayed on the pressure a bit more and moved out to a length. But in these singles, I mean, I know it's fast conditions, but these singles, the races do take a bit longer, and you know, leading by a length isn't necessarily the bigger thing as leading an 8 by a length.
Yeah, it's much quicker to turn that round, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Smaller boats.
Exactly. And here, Matilda seems to be getting into a rhythm now, and as maybe starting to edge back a little bit here as this Australian sculler starts to drop her stroke rate. Yeah, so Matilda Hodgkins Byrne really, I mean, look how rough it is out there. The wind's quite strong, they're really bouncy, aren't they, the single scullers?
It's a lot about patience, isn't it, and biding your time rather than trying to kill the race off too early.
Yeah, we've seen a few people getting beaten just coming down the stewards' enclosures, haven't we, in the previous years in the single sculls.
So this is joining the action live, a bit further down the course. And the Australian Grzeskowiak continues to lead. Hodgkins Byrne, though, very much in it, and it'll be interesting to see tactically how this race unfolds.
Well, Matilda trains on this stretch of river. She's a member of the Upper Thames Club, but she'll be coming past in a minute, so she'll get a big cheer coming through the halfway point. So she knows what she is on the course very well. But yeah, but here, I get really good close race. Both athletes sculling very cleanly here. And Grzeskowiak obviously pushed really hard to get a high speed at the beginning and transitioned. Matilda came back, but still half a length.
Phenomenal race.
A bit less. Yeah, great race.
M.K.R. Grzeskowiak that dominated. Well, I say dominated, I mean half a length, maybe a length at most as they came off Temple Island. And as the races settled down, Matilda Hodgkins Byrne has stayed very much in it. They're of a similar age, similar generation. Obviously, being local, Matilda Hodgkins Byrne has lots more Henley experience. She's been 5 previous regattas to M.K.R's 1.
And here M.K.R, really simple, very horizontal. You see her handles, the way they come to her body, they just lets them go and it comes away very fluidly. Really easy, relaxed style.
If you were gambling on this, Adrian, you probably wouldn't want to part with too much money at the moment. It's quite unpredictable, isn't it, where this race is going?
I'd gamble with your money, but not with my own.
Okay, well that tells me everything I need to know. You don't know who's winning this race, and neither do I.
No, and a lot of it now is, you know, they're into their rhythm. Looks like their boat speed is pretty similar. Now they're a bit of a look from Matilda, just trying to see what to do next.
And a push.
And a push, yeah.
Yeah, that is the push that follows. That's a great shot, isn't it? It really gives us an indication of the change of gear from Matilda Hodgkins Byrne.
So she has put a big effort in there to make a big difference. And now this is the big test psychologically now. Can the Australian sculler M.K.R, can she absorb that and keep doing her thing, or is it going to start to affect the way she's sculling and then it's like a downward spiral? Matilda's made a really, really deliberate effort to make a big change there.
Little switch there. Matilda Hodgkins Byrne moving past the Australian, and now it's a question. There's a lot of the race still to go. They're not even in front of the enclosures yet, so we're only the midway point of the race. And how much has that push taken out of her, and what has the Australian got in response?
Yeah, you can see the 3/4 mile she was only just ahead, and now see when the next camera shot. But here still M.K.R still keeping it together. But look at the conditions. The boats are really wobbling around a bit. It's quite hard to keep the boat really level so you can actually apply good power. As soon as it starts rolling around sideways, it's difficult to apply the power.
Hodgkins Byrne with another glance across to see what's happening. And she is.
Yeah, as well. Also here, really nice. Her hands are really wide at the front when she put the blade in the water. I mean, she's got a lot of time pushing the boat, and the effort's made a difference. But actually, it hasn't killed anything off. The race is still on, and actually M.K.R maybe, yeah, half a length. So that push has worked and it's given her that margin, but the base boat speed is the same.
It'll be who's got another gear, if either.
Yep. and see whether if Cara maybe deciding I'll hold this for a bit, maybe she'll do her push at some point now to get back on terms.
The crowd will help them. This is where the atmosphere at Henley makes a difference. They're just moving into that section of the course, which even we're still relatively early. What are we, 20 to 11 on a Thursday morning, but there's still a decent crowd in, and that just changes the complexion of this race, doesn't it?
It does.
If it was at an empty lake somewhere with less iconic venue.
And because the wind is so strong, as it comes down the course, the poppiness of the water gets more and more and more because the wind picks up down the course. So actually, especially in these smaller boats, it's really hard to keep those boats running as well. The girls are managing this really well. You can see how there you go, twisting around because of the bounce in the water. Really physical, both these women racing here.
So this is Hodgkins Byrne, 28 years old.
They're starting to bring the rate up now, aren't they?
In the quad in the Tokyo Olympic Games.
Well, and Cara's really going for it here, so let's see, this could be a bit of an upset. Cara seems to be coming through here down the enclosures.
Grzeskowiak is really putting a big bid in here, and I think that's done enough. The Australians come through and will be not too far away. Has Hodgkins Byrne got any sort of response as they head in front of stewards now? 10 strokes remaining in the Princess Royal Challenge Cup, and the Australian Cara Grzeskowiak is nearly there.
That was some toughness there. Amazing last minute and a half or so.
The lead exchanged hands